Hello, and welcome to the Look Back and Laugh podcast with Bree. And that's me, I'm Bree, and I am so excited. This is our first episode of Look Back and Laugh, and I can't wait to get started. I don't think I've ever been so excited to talk to my phone or to the camera and tell my crazy stories. And I would love to interview people who have crazy stories too, because we're literally on a spinning ball in space. Some might even say plane in space. No judgment from me, but I have countless stories of crazy things, crazy events, traumatic events, sad events, unfortunate events, and I'm just so excited to share them with you. So this is episode 1, and this is the story of how my electric scooter died in Shanghai rush hour traffic. And this is gonna be a wild ride, so are you guys ready? Because it's time to buckle in. All right, so if you follow me on YouTube, you've seen that I lived in China, and I lived in China for 3 years. Well, I started teaching English when I was there, and I was scheduled and I planned a 6-week summer camp for Chinese kids, for about 7 Chinese kids. Well, it was scheduled for like a date in July. Well, I was supposed to go to Thailand the week before the summer camp. So I definitely want to go to Thailand. So I scheduled my trip so that I would be arriving in Shanghai the day before the summer camp starts. Noted, life learning, not a good idea, because you want to make sure that you are in Shanghai long before you have to teach summer camp. But as tragic events unfold, and just this disclaimer, this is a podcast all about things that I can now look back and laugh at. I know we're all going through struggles, and not all of us can look and laugh at the struggles that we're in, but something happens through time that suddenly you wake up one day and that thing that you thought was so traumatic is no longer having a hold on you. You can literally look back at that event and chuckle. So that is what this is dedicated to. All struggles are valid. You are valid. You are having a human experience, and I am having a human experience. So if you feel sad about something right now, me too. Me too. But no, we will look back and laugh one day at that thing. So back to my story. So here we are. Here I am in Bangkok, Thailand, and it's time for me to get on the plane. So I pack my shit and I go to the airport. Take a taxi, whatever. I get off, I go into the airport, and it says my flight is nowhere to be found. I cannot find my flight anywhere on the charts. Where's my gate? You know, this is a long time ago. This is back in 2015. But I don't know what to do. And so I go and I ask somebody, and luckily there's way more English spoken in Thailand than there is in China. So it was effortless to find somebody who could speak English. They tell me that my flight was at 2 a.m., not 2 p.m., and I'm there and it's like 12 noon. So I'm like, oh my God, because tomorrow I am teaching an English class, an English summer camp, and pretty much none of the students have met me except for maybe 1 or 2. And the parents have not met me. And so I would really like to make a good first impression for the summer camp. And so in my head, I'm thinking, this is bad, very bad. So I have to find somebody to help me see if there's a flight that I can take. And thank the gods, because there was a flight at around, I think it was another 2 a.m. flight. And so from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., I'm on this plane. I think it was a 4-hour flight from Thailand to Shanghai. So I end up taking the red eye, night flight, get into Shanghai, China at 5 a.m. and take a taxi to my apartment. And I'm like, damn, class starts at 9 a.m. and it's 5:30 a.m. So I'm like scrambling, I'm getting everything together. I'm getting my poster boards. I'm getting my books together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much stuff. And I don't have a car. I only have taxis. So taxis, scooters, or public transit. And I was like, how am I going to do this? Where am I going to put all this stuff? I can't carry it. So I was like, okay, well, if I try to take a taxi, the taxi will have to meet me at the compound entrance. But I have too much stuff, so I can't even bring my stuff to the compound entrance. So I look at my scooter, and my scooter has a trailer. I'll pop a picture up for the video version. But I decided that thing is looking pretty good right now because I could just scooter on over to the school, to the class that I'm teaching, and just offload my stuff. Well, like I said, I was in Thailand for last week and my scooter wasn't plugged in, but it said it had 3 bars, and I was like, 3 bars is good enough. We're gonna get there. I end up taking the scooter and putting all my stuff in it and driving away and thinking, hell yeah, this is gonna be the day where everything runs smoothly. Well, about 5 or 10 minutes in, that's when things take a turn. And I am now driving it, and it's speeding up. It's slowing down. It's going like this. Fast, slow, fast, slow. And I'm not doing it. And I'm like, oh boy. Uh-oh. Not good. And it quickly comes rolling to a stop. And I'm on one of the busiest freeways in, it wasn't a freeway, but one of the biggest main roads in Shanghai, China, and my scooter is dead. And there's hundreds of scooters going by me, honking at me. It was ridiculous. And not only I have a big old scooter, it's not like the others. I am white American, and I am a spectacle to be seen in the middle of the road, to say the least. So I end up having to push my scooter. I look at my phone maps. I can see that I'm about a mile away, and I think I can do this. But it is July, and it's Shanghai, China, and it's humid, and it's 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and I'm sweating. Sweating a lot. And so I end up pushing it through the city, through the back roads, through every little nook and cranny I could to get me to the house. Well, there's wet markets in the middle, on sidewalks, where there's eels, slugs, snakes, crawdads. I was basically essentially pushing my giant scooter through Chinatown. It wasn't an easy task. It wasn't big old streets, big old sidewalks. So but I do it. I'm like, you know what? Students are waiting for me. And so I stop at the gate of the compound, and they yell at me. They say, get out of here. What are you doing? In Chinese, they're like, no, you can't bring that in here. And I'm like, I need to, and it's dead, and someone help me. I ended up trying to figure out trying to communicate with the desk people, but I mean, 我不可以说中文. That means I can't speak Chinese, and so that's pretty much what I had to keep saying. It was just a disaster. Well, I called the lady who's letting me host the English summer camp in her home, and she comes out and she handles it. And so then I'm able to enter with my scooter. Well, I finally run up, I'm drenched in sweat. Like it's 105 degrees and humid, and I just pushed my scooter for a mile. So to say I'm sweaty is an understatement. I was drenched like a wet cat. And I had to shake the hands. Like the parents are at the door. Like I'm like gonna go into the building, and there they are, and they're like, hello, and I'm like, wow, like, wow. And so I am constantly thinking, I'm drenched, and this is their first impression. I'm drenched, and this is what they're gonna see. And I'm like, wow. But what can I do other than just keep on going, keep on going. And so I taught that class that day. I brought in all my stuff. I was drenched in sweat and owned the fact that, yes, my scooter died. And that's why your teacher is soaked. Sorry, kids. And they don't even speak English, so they didn't care. But I just remember thinking, like, this is stressful. This is bullshit. This is chaos. But I think I secretly loved it. I really do. And I love that I can look back and laugh at that right now. Like, there's just something about that story that helps me see that life is a barrel of laughs. So I don't know what you're going through. And obviously, there's all different types of struggle. But one thing that I know for sure is that nothing's permanent. From all of my stories, and I can't wait to share them all, nothing is permanent. Nothing lasts forever. And eventually, the horrible nature of things, when you're in the shit, you are thinking, this is horrible. This is a nightmare. But 10 years from now, you could think back at that moment and say, that shaped me to be who I am today. And I gained massive skills. Maybe, scootering through Chinatown is a new skill that I have. Dealing with stressful situations, basically, is the skill that I have. Because I have experienced some stressful events, let's just say that. And I feel like I'm 38 years old now, and I've got some skills. Stress is no problem. No. So anyway, that is my look back and laugh story for today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you are encouraged and inspired and know that you are not alone in the world. And no matter how bad things are right now, I want to remind you that nothing is permanent. This too shall pass, and one day you will look back and laugh. Bye. So we just finished dinner, and then we see this place. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese, and look at the prices. There's a rice maker, a soup maker, a microwave, coffee maker, a stove. Oh, different kinds of coffee makers, big, small. Just thought it was funny. So we're gonna go now.